So I got this email from SoCad83. He or she writes, "Hey Ian, why don't you do a react video on Shane Dawson and Jake Paul? I would definitely click on that." Challenge accepted.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I literally got soaked.
This is gonna be a nightmare.
Welcome to the heart of the matter, everybody. If you're down for videos on the legal side of social media, well then you're in the right place. Hit the like button, subscribe if you feel like it, and then hit that bell too. Today at SoCad83's urging, and apparently the rest of the internet, we're breaking down Shane Dawson's The Mind of Jake Paul Parts 1 and 2. Be sure to stay to the end of the video when I'm gonna give all you Shane Dawson fans something a little special. I'm attorney Ian Corzine, and for the past 20 years, I've been giving legal tips to creators. And now I'm gonna give one to Shane Dawson. Stop with the over-dramatic reaction shots.
Ooh, okay. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Ooh, I'm feeling sick.
I'm gonna be sick.
Okay. That was a quick reaction that she had.
Okay guys, let's get right to it. So Shane Dawson opens part 1 calling Jake Paul a lot of bad names. Let's watch.
He's a bad person. He's done bad things. He is a sociopath. He's a liar. So obviously, I was a little scared and a little regretful that I tweeted it. I mean, this picture, that looks like two straight up sociopaths planning their next move.
I love that disclaimer at the end. Yeah, look at this. I am not 100% insinuating any of these people are sociopaths. Yeah, right. Shane Dawson is really playing it close to the line here. By calling Jake Paul a sociopath, a bad person, a liar, he's implicating California defamation law. Defamation is either libel or slander. Libel is when you write down someone's a bad person. Slander is when you say that person is a bad person. In California, if you become liable for defamation, either libel or slander, then you may be responsible for paying the victim thousands of dollars, maybe millions of dollars in damages. To prove defamation, you've got to show that there was publication of a false statement, and that false statement damaged the victim, and that the person making the statement had a negligent mindset. But with a public figure, and Jake Paul surely is a public figure, the requirement is different. The mindset requirement is different. Jake Paul would have to show that Shane Dawson knew at the time he made the statements about sociopath, bad person, liar, that he knew that those statements weren't true, or that he was reckless when he made those statements. So is Shane Dawson liable for defamation in parts 1 and parts 2 of his documentary series? It's kind of a close call. Frankly, I think he's not, and the main reason is that Jake Paul is a public figure, and also, I don't think there's evidence that Shane Dawson absolutely knew that Jake Paul was not a sociopath at the time he made the statements that he was. But what do you think? I want to hear from you. If you think that Shane Dawson is liable for defamation, then write defame in the comments. However, if you think you agree with me and you think that, you know, Shane Dawson kind of skirted the requirements pretty well, then write truth in the comment section below. Okay, now let's turn to the accusation that FaZe Banks assaulted Jake Paul's assistant, Meg.
And he eventually accused FaZe Banks of assaulting his assistant, and they released a video of where the assistant appeared to have a bruise mark on the neck.
Meg was assaulted by a man.
He like put his arm out and like went like this. And I looked up at him and I realized immediately that it was Banks. I didn't really know whether or not it was him at first because he has a girlfriend and he was making out with this other girl.
This like video isn't meant to like retaliate or target anyone.
If you believe this the way they're telling it, you're brainwashed and I want nothing to do with you.
And Jake even came out and said, I think about a month later, he handled the whole situation badly.
We should be handling these situations in person and not talking over social media.
That is a big deal. I mean, faking an assault is probably illegal.
Yeah, Shane, that's definitely a crime. Under California Penal Code Section 148.5, anyone who falsely reports a crime to a police officer is liable for a misdemeanor. Yeah, that means 6 months in the county jail, Jake. Now in this case, we don't know whether or not Jake or Meg reported this alleged crime of Faze Banks to a police officer. But if they did, and the assault did not happen, then Jake Paul avoided some big trouble on this one. Okay, now it's time to get back to Shane Dawson trash talking Jake Paul again.
And that was where he started Team 10. And I'm not sure if they were friends. Is it all fake? Is it real? Are people paying to be there? It's so strange.
Paying to be there? Like, paying for a spot in Team 10.
A lot of people have said people are just there to basically get popularity. People are there to make money. People are there to go into other things, modeling.
Wow, having somebody pay to be your fake friend. That's like next level. That like adds to like a sociopath situation. Ooh. Okay.
Okay, so Shane Dawson basically implies that Jake Paul actually paid Team 10 to be his friends. And you can't do that, Shane. In California, we have a civil cause of action called false light. So under false light, if you prove that Shane Dawson published some misleading information about Jake Paul, and that information was highly offensive or embarrassing, then Shane Dawson could be liable to Jake Paul for thousands of dollars in damages. You know, we haven't watched the whole series yet. There's still some left to go. But if it turns out that Team 10 does not say they were paid by Jake Paul to be his friends, then Jake Paul has a pretty good case against Shane Dawson for false light. But what do you think? I want to hear from you. Do you agree with me that Jake Paul has a pretty good case against Shane Dawson for false light? If so, write false light in the comments. However, if you think that maybe this Team 10 discussion is not embarrassing or highly offensive and therefore the false light civil cause of action is not applicable, then write Team Dawson in the comment section below. Okay, if you're on Team Dawson, then you're really gonna cringe at this clip.
Please don't, Jake! Yeah. Oh my God!
Okay, as you just saw in that clip, it appears that Jake and his buds, the Dolan twins, went to Malibu, specifically the Ringe Dam in 2015, and Jake proceeded to do push-ups against the side of the dam about 300 feet up. What a dumbass. Okay, well some of you wanted to know, is putting yourself in danger, like Jake Paul, is that a crime? And the answer is no. All right, so how we handle this in California is that if a police officer saw someone putting themselves into danger, they would impose a California Health and Welfare Institutions Code 5150 hold on them. They would take them into custody and take them to a mental institution and hold them involuntarily for 3 days. If at the end of the 3 days, the person is better, then they can be released. However, if the person stays the same or is worse, then that person either has to voluntarily admit himself into the mental institution or there will be a 14-day involuntary hold. So lesson learned, kids, don't do this at home because if you do, you may be going away for a while. All right, guys, so now you have my legal take on Shane Dawson's Mind of Jake Paul Parts 1 and 2. Now it's time for your special little gift. At the top of the description section, you'll find a link, and that link will take you to my exclusive video made for you in which I explain the whole reasoning behind this documentary that Shane Dawson is doing on Jake Paul. You know, if you watch Parts 1 and Parts 2 and you put them together, they don't make sense. And if you watch my exclusive video, I'll tell you why. All right, guys, so if you want to see another breakdown of Shane Dawson's documentary, well then leave me a little heart emoji in the comments below. Otherwise, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe and hit the bell button and you'll be notified every Wednesday when a new Heart of the Matter video comes out. I'm looking forward to watching with you parts 3 through 8 of The Mind of Jake Paul. I think there's something juicy coming up and I really want to talk about it with you. But until then, I'll see you next time.